In the stillness between what happens to us and how we choose to respond lies a power that few ever truly tap into. It's a moment so subtle that we often miss it entirely. Yet within that pause exists the key to a more intentional life. A life not ruled by impulse, but guided by purpose. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor of Rome, reflected deeply on this idea. In his meditations, he often returned to the belief that while we cannot control external events, we can always control how we interpret and respond to them. He recognized that this simple truth, this space between stimulus and response, holds the secret to personal freedom and inner peace. So much of life is reaction. Someone cuts us off in traffic and anger takes over. We get an unexpected email at work and stress floods in. But imagine, just for a moment, what could happen if you didn't react right away? If you paused, if you breathed. In that pause, you create space to choose, to reflect, to lead yourself instead of being led by emotion. This isn't about suppression. It's not about denying what you feel. It's about mastery, about standing at the helm of your own ship and steering with awareness, not letting the waves of emotion crash over you without direction. That's the heart of Stoicism, and it's also the essence of mindfulness. These two philosophies, one ancient, one modern, meet in this sacred space of pause and response. By cultivating the habit of mindful pausing, even if just for a few seconds, you begin to shift the course of your life. You step back from automatic reactions and begin to act with clarity. This simple habit changes everything, and it starts with one breath. That breath is a gateway. It's not dramatic, it's not loud, but it is powerful. A deep inhale, a slow exhale, and suddenly you've stepped into awareness. This is the ground on which you can plant reason, compassion, and integrity. Ask yourself in that moment, what does this situation truly call for? What would a Stoic choose to do here? What aligns with the person I want to become? Each time you ask these questions, you're strengthening your ability to respond thoughtfully. You're reinforcing your identity as someone who lives with intention, not reactivity. Another powerful Stoic strategy is reframing, the art of changing how you see the situation in front of you. The event remains the same, but your perspective changes everything. The Stoics believe that nothing is inherently good or bad, only our judgment makes it so. When we're caught in difficulty, we can either let it overwhelm us or look for the hidden lesson within it. For instance, you might face a tough day at work. The immediate reaction might be frustration or anxiety, but through a Stoic lens, this is a chance to practice patience, to demonstrate resilience, to grow stronger under pressure. This is not a setback, this is training. When you shift your narrative, you change your relationship to the experience. It's not about denying the challenge, it's about reclaiming your power within it. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, how can I use this? That shift rewires your response. You move from victimhood to empowerment. The Stoics also taught us to focus only on what we can control and to let go of the rest. This isn't a call to passivity, but to precision, to direct your energy wisely, to act where your action matters. We don't control the weather, traffic, or the behavior of others, but we do control our thoughts, our values, and our actions. That is our domain. That is where our strength lies. When you commit to focusing on your internal responses rather than external events, you free yourself from needless suffering. You stop trying to manage the unmanageable and begin mastering the one thing you truly own, yourself. This mindset is liberating. It turns chaos into clarity. It turns obstacles into opportunities. And yet, even with all this wisdom, we are still human. We still stumble. We still fall into old patterns. That's why the Stoics emphasize daily reflection, an honest review of our actions, choices, and thoughts. Each evening, take time to look back on your day. Where did you respond well? Where did you react impulsively? What could you learn? This process of self-inquiry sharpens the mind and fortifies the soul. Over time, this ritual becomes a mirror, a space where you hold yourself accountable, not to punish yourself, but to grow. You see your progress, however small. You build momentum. You honor your values not just in thought, but in action. And here's where mindfulness becomes a lifelong companion, Mindfulness is not just about meditation. It's about being fully present with whatever is happening, without judgment, without distraction. It's the practice of noticing again and again where your attention is, and gently bringing it back to the now. In moments of stress, mindfulness helps you anchor. In moments of joy, it helps you savor. And in moments of conflict, it helps you stay grounded. A simple way to begin is with the breath. Sit quietly. Observe each inhale and exhale. When your mind wanders, as it will, bring it back. This isn't about getting rid of thoughts. It's about training your attention to return, over and over. This basic practice becomes a superpower. It helps you stay centered in the midst of chaos. It teaches you that your awareness is not your thoughts. Your thoughts are like clouds. Your awareness is the sky. But mindfulness can extend far beyond formal meditation. You can practice it while walking, while eating, while washing dishes. When you bring full attention to simple tasks, you transform them into sacred moments of awareness. Try it. Next time you're drinking tea or coffee, slow down. Smell the aroma. Feel the warmth. Taste each sip. That's mindfulness. That's presence. And it rewires your brain to be more focused, more at ease. Mindful observation makes every moment richer. Every task becomes a meditation, and you begin to carry your presence into every room you enter. This presence also transforms your relationships. When you are mindful in conversation, truly listening, without interrupting, without rushing to respond, you create connection. You create trust. You begin to see others not as obstacles or irritants, but as fellow human beings, each with their own struggles, their own inner battles. This is where Stoicism and mindfulness meet empathy. And empathy, contrary to some misconceptions, is not weakness. It's strength rooted in understanding. To be mindful with others is to bring calm into chaos, to bring space into tension, and to bring clarity into confusion. So how do you integrate all of this into your daily life? Start your day with intention. Take 5 minutes each morning to reflect. How do I want to show up today? Where might I be tested? How can I respond instead of react? Throughout the day, pause often. Use your breath as an anchor. When triggered, ask, what would a wiser version of me do right now? End your day with reflection. Journal about your wins, your slips, your insights. Don't aim for perfection, aim for progress. This cycle, intention, attention, reflection, is the rhythm of the mindful Stoic. In time, this practice becomes second nature. You become less reactive, more resilient, less driven by ego, more guided by purpose, and you begin to notice a profound shift. Life doesn't control you. You control how you move through life. You find peace not because life is easier, but because you are stronger. You become calm in the storm, not because the storm stops, but because you've built shelter within. Every challenge becomes a training ground. Every interaction becomes a chance to connect. Every moment becomes an opportunity to embody your values. This journey, from reaction to response, is a lifelong path. It asks for consistency, it asks for patience. But the rewards are immeasurable. You begin to live with clarity rather than confusion, with strength rather than struggle, with purpose rather than passivity. You begin to embody the very principles that the Stoics lived and died for: wisdom, courage, justice, temperance. You become not just a student of Stoicism, but a living example of it. As we close, remember this: every moment is a choice, a chance to respond with intention, to live with purpose, and to bring forth the best version of yourself. Your responses are not just reactions, they are reflections of your character. With each thoughtful choice, you weave a life of meaning, one thread at a time. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If this message resonated, share it with someone you care about. Subscribe to continue exploring the art of living wisely and well. And as you move forward, may your pauses be filled with presence, your actions with purpose, and your life with the calm clarity of a mind aligned with virtue.